Which member of the Spears faculty loves disc golf, is a former radio DJ, and is a growing TikTok sensation? We have the answer ahead today on Inside OSU. When you were younger, what did you want to be when you grew up?
A farmer. I grew up on a farm, and so I would say up until my junior year in high school, I assumed I would just go to the family farm.
What changed?
My best friend kept on me about, oh, you should go to college. I'm like, blah, 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 blah. So he convinced me to change from, I was on the professional track, to change then to the college prep track.
And you are first generation college student.
Right.
What's your advice to students now who are first generation college?
You know, I always tell students I dropped out of college. I'm a college dropout. You know, I went to the University of Iowa because I had this idea I was going to be a lawyer. About a weekend, there's law students in my residence hall. I don't know what they were doing there. But I heard all these horror stories. People were ripping pages out of books. It was so competitive. They were hiding all these horrible things. And I go, I don't want to do this. So I decided, well, what am I doing in college? Because if I don't want to be a lawyer, there's no point in being here. So I dropped out.
After a week?
I believe it was all total 14 days. So
2 weeks, sorry.
2 weeks.
My mistake.
Practically. So anyway, long answer. I tell kids, for God's sakes, you got to realize you're not alone. There's probably 100 kids who feel like you do. You know, get out, ask questions. You know, we have all sorts of help here. When I dropped out, that was it. I was done, and went back to the farm. And my friends from Iowa State would come back on the weekends, and we'd get together. You know, they'd tell me stories. I'm like, so I realized, yeah, I probably should go back to college. So you know, I thought, well, what am I going to do? I didn't want to be a lawyer. So I always liked music. I can't sing, can't play anything, but I always liked it. So I thought, I'll be a DJ. So I enrolled in the 2-year broadcasting program at Iowa Central Community College and enjoyed it thoroughly, but there was no money. And so I realized, well, I'm going to need to go to college. And so my first plan was I was going to be a newsman, a newscaster. So I was going to major in poli-sci. I did some reading and that stuff. And so I enrolled, fully going to do that. And over the summer I go, that's stupid. So I transferred into business college, the sole purpose of getting a job. So that was it. That was my grand plan, but it worked out.
What did you do after you graduated with your business degree?
I was a warehouse supervisor in Des Moines, Iowa for Super Value grocery chain. It was a big grocery chain in the Midwest. Mainly I learned I need to go back to graduate school because this is horrible. So I went back to a couple of my professors whining, about, oh my God, my life sucks, what am I gonna do? And Dr. Paula Morrow, she was my advisor in college, I'll be forever indebted. She goes, well, you should do this. I do what? She said, be a professor. I go, I'm not smart enough to do this. Are you kidding me? And after several, what I call therapy sessions, they convinced me that I could be a professor. I had no clue, so they really helped me about what to do and went back there and got my master's in a year and then I went to Nebraska and got my PhD.
You have become quite a social media sensation, particularly on TikTok. I've seen them, they're fantastic. Who comes up with those ideas?
No, we've got a great marketing team of young folks who are really creative. And my rule with them is if I get fired, you get fired. So just whatever you want me to do, just keep that in mind. And so far, we've been able to coexist peacefully.
The one that sticks out to me is the one that you did after Coach Gundy's press conference with the push-ups. That was phenomenal. What is the key to a good TikTok?
Again, having good choreographers and the directors. I just did what they told me, and I think one of the keys I try to, when I did leadership programs years ago, I just said, I think one of the essential elements to be a good leader is not take yourself too seriously, to be able to laugh at yourself. People are going to laugh at you anyway, so you might as well join them.
What do you like to do outside of work?
Well, disc golf is one of the big things. Like listening to music. I used to garden a lot more than I used to, but I think in retirement I plan to get back to doing that, my farm roots.
What else are you looking forward to about your upcoming retirement?
You know, it's kind of a mixed feelings. I mean, obviously I'll miss this place a lot. You can't be here this long and this involved, but I think being able to relax a little more and you know, not having to make some of the decisions you have to make every day.
What are you nervous about when it comes to retirement?
I'm not too nervous about retiring. As I told one of our alums, I have a very high threshold for boredom, so I'm not that worried about it. If I get bored, I'll figure something out, but I'm actually looking forward to being bored. It'll be a nice change of pace, but I think leaving the people and not being as connected to it will be some of the biggest, I think, transitions. And it'll be a challenge for all of us. I mean, I've been a part of this community for a long time, and so I do understand people's concerns about what's next and what will change, and no one wants to go backwards. No one wants to stay the same. So we've got to look forward and not be afraid of what's next.